All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out here so everybody can join in. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Make sure the sound is coming through okay here. Hold on a sec. Okay, looks good. 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 All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So definitely a little more action today than yesterday. So, but some cool stuff. So today we're going to talk about day trading fib funds. So we're going to continue this conversation on this one. Today we're going to talk about bigger picture stuff. So really, really helpful when we get caught. Sometimes we get caught up in the minutia of a tiny setup intraday, and we can sometimes lose sight of the bigger picture. So this does help us. So before we get into this, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we might have in store for the rest of the night and into tomorrow. And then we're going to take a look at the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. So SPX today up 46 points. Back up to the upper Bollinger Band here on the monthly chart, getting really, really close to all-time highs. I mean, literally, guys, 13 points. I mean, that's like we're like one candle away, like one 5-minute candle away from tagging these all-time highs. They're pretty amazing stuff after the Corona crash, and apparently everything is just fine. Even though like 3 Fed people were talking today and said the economy is like really bad. The market just doesn't care. So. SPX on the weekly chart. Okay, so forming a hammer right now. So it was getting a little bit scary yesterday, right? It was forming a shooting star, and it completely reversed. It's now a green hammer here, getting close to the highs, but still defended the prior week's highs. Keep in mind, guys, we still have an open gap below here, right? So this is a potential target one of these days. So we'll see. Eventually, that'll get hit, more than likely. So it just all depends on when. It took several weeks for this gap to get filled, and that finally happened, but left this gap right here. So actually, it's still kind of an island bottom right here if it continues up. But we'll see how that goes and where we go from there. So daily chart, again, still just kind of grinding our way up here. If you guys remember yesterday, we weren't too worried about yesterday's candle. I mean, obviously, a bearish engulfing candle is concerning, but the fact that we held the ADMA and the upper trend line, still kind of gave us confidence that we're still bullish until proven otherwise, right? They tried to start proving otherwise, but we didn't quite get there, right? So we'll see how it goes. We got some open gaps below right here. We might tag all-time highs, and then it's like we see like a big red candle or something like that. Start shifting trend, and then we'll see how we deal with it, right? We've got the 50 moving average right here, the 200 in the cloud right here. We got a bunch of gaps below. Don't forget we got these gaps below here too. Oh boy, that one there. So we'll see how that goes going into the rest of the week. Okay, so good stuff. Let's take a look at the price action here intraday. So no gap fade today, right? They had a rough move yesterday. So the fun part about today was these levels, right? So price often likes to go back to the scene of the breakdown, right? I think we talked about that in a series, areas of interest. The scene of the breakdown is really, really important right here. So when we had, a strong green candle today, and then a follow-up one here over the 15 orb, doji sandwich up, right? This was kind of our clue that, hey, we're probably going to come up and test these levels, right? So, and we could tell from the futures, right, the kind of the bounce here overnight, and we looked at it pre-market. If you guys follow on Twitter, right, we tweet out, the charts there, the S&P futures, and we're like, bull flag. If we get over this triangle, we could see some more momentum upside to the next zone above, and then we can test the breakdown, right? So we got there today. Let's take a look at the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens, so you can see how helpful these are, right? So strong candle here in the 5-minute chart, got a little consolidation right here, right? And then worked our way up here, upper shadow off of the R1 level on the weekly. Then we got through this level here, and that got us right to the prior day's high. Once we kind of hung out there for a while, it wanted to test a little bit lower again. Obviously, the scene of the breakdown was going to get tested, but we only got a few down moves right here, lots of lower shadows. So not saying that it really wanted to come back and test any of these levels yet, right? So we bounced off of here, right, chopped around a little bit, and just kind of some funky. So like I said today in Twitter, when I was looking at SPX, it was a gap and grind, right? So we had a gap and go right here, and then we just kind of were grindy for the rest of the day. So, but still, pretty bullish. We got really, really close to the all-time high, 33.87. We were only 6 points away at one point here, and they just couldn't push it. So it was looking tempting right here because some volume started to come in, and it just wasn't moving, right? So inside 5 right here, that's where you kind of get caution, right? And then it took the inside 5 down. So it's pretty wild stuff right there. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're behaving here this evening. All right, so S&P futures down $1.75. Right now we're just kind of chopping around back in these ranges from today. Like we said, here is the scene of the breakdown right here. These are the levels that we provide to our members too. These are additional levels we provide. So let's go here and I'll show you where this comes from. So again, scene of the breakdown right here, right? Rally, base, drop, right? So this is a major zone right here, and we're just kind of back in this area right now, kind of retesting it. So tonight, let's see what we do, right? So we've got a couple levels right here that are of importance going into tomorrow. We've got this geometric line right here, right? It's actually the trend line. So bullish there, right? We got this, that broke down today, got retested. So let's just use this as a geometric line here tonight, and we'll keep an eye on this one here as well, as we're kind of triangulating between this range in this prior zone, and we'll see if we break out one way or the other going into tomorrow. So it could be very interesting stuff. Okay, good. So good stuff. So let's go to the topic here. So today we're going to be talking about day trading, Fibonacci fun, continuing our series on this one, and today we're going to be talking about bigger picture. So I really just have one example on this one. It's kind of interesting. So we talked this so far this week. We talked about retracements. We talked about extensions, right? And we talked about using the real bodies too as a tool. But today we're going to kind of go back and look at these retracements, but use it kind of in the bigger picture. So I want to use an example of Roku. Roku this week was pretty interesting, right? Or in the last week. So what we can see here on Roku is we had a very interesting pullback here, right? And so the question is, right? So why didn't this work, right? So the idea is why didn't we really get a huge bounce off of this, right? So we got a little bit of a bounce, but so this is back on the 7th, right? So this is not this week, but it was last Friday, right? And so why did Roku really reverse? Well, I mean, obviously, Roku reversed because there was more sellers than buyers at the time, but the idea is what we could do is, right, if we have our retracements right here, we could see that, based on what we were talking about, right, we did get a nice little bounce right here, but how come we didn't get huge follow through off of this retracement, right? And so maybe we can show it a little bit better here on the no, we didn't have the 15-hour pie on that one, but that's fine. Let's just go by the 5-minute chart, pretty clear right here. So why? Right? Why didn't this go? Right? So I mean, we had a big strong move, right? And then we just had a 618 pullback. Why don't we just keep on going up, right? So why did it keep going down? Right? So it's kind of interesting, right? So if you actually go from here to here, right, we were at a big confluence. This level is actually really important, right? So from the down move, right, this is a 382 retracement right by the 5-0, but look at how that hovered right over this level. Really, really cool stuff, right? So this is clearly an important area right here. So we got the bounce off the 618, right, and it was also a 382, 382 confluence, which is so cool, and it came down off there. But that's not necessarily the bigger stuff. That's just showing how these clusters are really cool. So why did it do that instead of going the other way? Well, in this case here, we actually want to take a look at the bigger picture with what's going on. So we have to see where we came from bigger picture wise, and the only way to do that is to zoom out and see what happened, right, since earnings, right? So we had a big down move since earnings, right? So this down move here was really the momentum that started this kind of grindy downward move. Right now we're into, if you go to the daily chart, we're in this slop right here, right? So this is the big picture, right? So from earnings, you can see right here's your geometric line from here. This has served to be a very interesting level, and then we triangulated here where we got that earnings run breakout, and then after earnings, right, we had this this crazy reversal, right? And so let's take a look, right? So that's the bigger picture that we were kind of grinding down after that. So to really look at the bigger picture of this, why did it not move? The reason is because the bigger picture was saying, hey, we're looking to go down a little bit farther, right? So to look at that, all we do is we take the retracement from this high down to here, right? So that gives us a bigger picture move. And you can see what really happened was this reversal was a 50% retrace of that bigger move. So that's why we reversed off of this, because it was still working on this bigger downtrend. So even intraday, so it's like I said, it's really easy, like I said at the open, it's really easy to get involved here in the nitty gritty and be like, okay, yeah, this is gonna go. We got a 618 pullback. Well, hold on, right? Where are we coming from? And that's really kind of the important thing, right? So you can see right here, we came up to the 50% retrace, and then we worked our way down from there. And then really, ultimately, I mean, this is about as cool as it gets here. This was a 382 382 from the bigger picture macro side, right, which also corresponded, right, with this 382 zone right here and this 382 zone. So I mean, clearly this zone right here was extremely important, right? So since we couldn't break out of there, we got an upper shadow off of that, right? We ended up working our way down, and then we got some follow through to the downside right here. Then if you do a retrace here, not a circle retrace. If we do if we got a retrace here, right? Look at that. Look what happened. A 382 right here as well, right? So we came up this morning, we hit this 382, and we continued the downtrend down. So really, really cool stuff, you know, when you look at that. And it's just, I think, a really, really helpful tool. So if you're not seeing stuff happen on the intraday period where you think it would go, you know, take a step back, you know, and just see what's going on those levels. So pretty cool stuff, guys. So I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Shirley's sending a few here via email. Let me get rid of all this mess here. All right, so Shirley's sending a few via email, and again, she really appreciates everybody's thoughts and prayers. So please continue to send those out to her as she's you know, working on you know, just continuing to do well. So let's take a look here. So Home Depot. Let's take a look. So yeah, so Home Depot, again, bullish, still proven otherwise on this one. We tried to get a hurricane rally on this one when that, what was it, Isaias was coming up through the east coast of the United States, and pretty much missed everything in the south, like Florida and all that stuff. And then, you know, ended up actually doing some creating some major problems up north. A lot of areas in New Jersey, New York, were out of power for quite a significant amount of time, despite the overall, you know, weakness of the storm. But anyway, that being said, Home Depot continuing to be bullish, till proven otherwise. Right? Again, yesterday just turned out to be a big fake out move. A lot of shorts got caught in here, guys, and got squeezed up today just about across the board. So kind of cool. So now we just need to see if the bulls want to step in and go. Otherwise, if we start to break down on a lot of these names, we might see like a faster downside move tomorrow. But we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at EAT. Oh yeah, nice candle on EAT right there after earnings. Looks good. Again, we don't like to trade right after earnings. We'll see if we get some follow to the upside. Again, you guys know the technique. We've talked about it a bunch of times, right? Next day after earnings, you oftentimes can get a nice momentum move through the high if it pushes through there. Not so EAT. You know, I don't really trade it much on options, but it could be an interesting one. The Rock. Let's see. So from these lows in March, still holding trend. Inside day. Let's see if it gives a push out one way or the other. Grub. Yeah, nice gap up on Grub. I looked for news on this one this morning. I saw a gap. I was going to put it on like a 15 orb radar, and like I did not see anything going on here this morning. Grubhub's merger partners to defend. I mean, it was just gapping up today. Why was it gapping up today? After JustEatTakeaway.com, which is set to acquire the company, reported strong results. Okay, so it came up on this. Yeah, that took forever for me to find that information. So yeah, it gapped up, and it really didn't really do a gap and go today, but it was kind of, you can see I had some old price levels up here, so it was kind of testing some prior levels, right? So cool stuff there, but it did give a recent high here, and is looking pretty. Let me go to the weekly chart real quick and just yeah. So just kind of coming up to these. Look at that. I mean, major areas out here, rally-based drop. I mean, these are like macro zones, right? So resistance zones right there. So not surprised to see it not really do a gap and go today, but pretty cool stuff on that. And again, still bullish to proven otherwise, but just be careful of that doji. It could be a reversal doji. And then big. Let's take a look at big time. Where are we? Let's go. Let's get some data. Yeah, big lots. There. Okay, so wow, pretty nice stuff here. A couple nice bounce. Oh, this was a nice bounce here off this upper trend line. I love when this plays out right here. Right, pulled back to the trend line, up, pull back to the trend line here. Look at that strong close over the ADMA with increasing volume, and see ya. So it's still bullish here until proven otherwise, but that candle right there was the entry, and then nice stuff on big lots. Definitely an exclamation point at the end of that. Good stuff. Thanks, Shirley. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, how about Tesla paying the bills? I love it. So Tesla was great. We had fun with this one in the group today. It was just a nice move, right? So they did a little fake out move at the open, could not get any follow through. But what is the one thing that we look at, guys, that we always like to see, right? Are we holding the pre-market lows, right? It held the pre-market lows, and you got a nice reversal off of that one here. Strong candle, broke out of the 15 orb high, inside 15 up, so low, like decreasing volume, right? low volume pullback to the ADMA, right, and continue to work its way up for the rest of the day. So nice stuff on Tesla. We'll see if we get it. Yeah, maybe some continuation tomorrow. I kind of like it if it really wants to, right? It kind of breaks over these highs. Right? It's got 1590 to contend with. It's got some crazy levels above to deal with, but I could see in the 1600s if they really start stepping it up, like giving it some upgrades. Who knows? Maybe it'll be 5,000 before they do get that 5-to-1 stock split in there, and it'll end up being trading the same prices anyway. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely look for a breakout over these highs. This 1600 level is going to be an interesting one too. So good stuff. And then GLD. Yeah, a little more follow through the downside today. Now it officially filled this gap right here. So again, we got other gaps below. We still have the trend line right here. So today's down move was actually, finally like gold moving down when the market's going up. But when it was going up and the market's going up, we were all like, ah. And then we had that going. Then it went down when the market went down. It's like, what's going on with that? So anyway, but watch another push through all of yesterday's lows, and we'll see where that takes us in tomorrow. In fact, I'm actually going to put that on the bearish radar for tomorrow, just because that's just a nasty candle right there. I know it's decreasing volume, but it's it does have some room to the downside on that one, so we're gonna keep an eye on that one too. Okay, all right, good. So good. So that's that one, and Penn. So Penn has been interesting, right? So it's kind of been a standout from the rest of the casino names, right? So I don't know if it's been getting any special attention or anything like that. Not really, but a lot of the sports betting stuff is getting affected right here. But it had a nice 15-hour breakout today and a good push, and then it's kind of choppy for the rest of the day. But you look at other names like LVS, right? Big red day today. Like Wynn had a good day the other day, but let's take a look here how it behaved here today. Yeah, another down day on that one. So Penn has been really a standout amongst the casinos. So kind of keep an eye on it, right? So it's a little bit of an outlier from the sector. So if the casinos get weak tomorrow, Penn might follow through and follow them, right? So eventually, it's without any real news behind it, there's a good chance for it, right? Unless there's something sneaky going on behind the scenes. So good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. The Nest, what's happening? SE, let's take a look. Yes, C Limited, nice. Yeah, good green candle there. Got back up to the ADMA. Hopefully, going to try to start an earnings run there. Going from that. Docu, spinning top right there. Yeah, so Docu is still kind of pulling back right here. Got to hold that level, right, that 187-ish area. We'll see how that goes on that. Walmart, again, another nice reversal off of that one. Now it's got ex-dividend coming up and earnings coming up pretty soon too. But nice reversal off of yesterday. Apple, beautiful day today, guys. This was on our game plan from yesterday. We talked about it last night. We just like the idea that if we gapped up and started moving right, that we could get some follow through the upside. We sure did today. Just a beautiful move today. Nice consolidation, nice low volume pullback, right, and then held the ADMA up until it got into the choppy, sloppy. So nice and sloppy. So we got that going on. And then eBay, doing pretty good, hanging in there, closed over the ADMA, a little bit of an upper shadow on that one, so just watch out for that. And then Trip. Yeah, nice follow through on Trip. Would like to have seen a little bit more volume, but not quite there yet. So just kind of keep an eye on there. But looks like it's staring right at that 200-day moving average. DPZ, just avoid the Noid. I don't know what to say. If anybody's old enough to remember those commercials, but anyway, so the Noid, right, is what it is this chop, right, this area, right. So we're still in this. This kind of congestion zone right here. So let's see if we can get out with volume. Last time we got out of here was here. There's some increased volume. We moved up a little bit. Right now we're just waiting for the same thing to happen. Right. So good stuff. Piton. Yeah, Piton's looking pretty interesting here. It's got earnings coming up. I feel it. More cowbell. I feel like this thing can get going here. We got this upper trend line right here. We got this one right here. This trend line that we're closing below, which is right here. So again, the trend box is kind of in here for this. Right, so kind of keep an eye on today's lows, but it does seem like this thing's going to try to reverse and do another earnings run, right? Since it's just been so bullish, right? So I mean, we're basically higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then maybe an earnings run. So definitely try to keep an eye on that one to see which way which way it wants to pedal. And then ZEK, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. STM, yeah, STM, nice candle, good volume. And a nice gap fill on that one. Can't complain there. So we're going to see fall through the upside there. J&J. Good. Yeah, good green candle today. Generally, the S&P was strong. It's pretty high weighting on the S&P, so got a nice move off of that as it's still kind of just grindy out of this bull flag here. QCOM. Oh yeah, beautiful today. And in fact, this is a really nice candle, guys. It didn't have the volume I was expecting earlier, but it really ended up closing nicely today. I do think QCOM should be on the bullish radar for tomorrow, so we're going to put that on there. What I'd like to see, I'd love to see like a doji sandwich type thing, right? Get like a little doji cross up there, and then get some more follow to the upside. But yeah, really nice stuff. Finally got some good follow through on the news that it's like they're no longer like being investigated, antitrust stuff. So we'll see how that goes. AMAT, nice breakout right there, heading into earnings. So let's see how that goes. ABBV, again, just be careful there. I do like how it got over the geometric line. AbbVie finally got some volume here in the cloud. It doesn't have much room to get to the 50-day in the top of the cloud, so just be careful there. And then Twitter. So this is good. This is actually a kind of a cool short idea. Today, right, we pointed it out in the group here. We liked the 15-word breakdown and then the 60 anchor breakdown right here. So it gave us a decent little move. And then they bought the dip, right? But we came right into these levels, right? So see, they bought the dip, and we kind of came in that area there, and then they slowly bought the dip today. So it gave a nice little reversal off of that. But other than that, kind of blah. I mean, it's good. Twitter is going to be probably pretty active during the election season, right, with all the rules and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes going forward, right? It's gonna be a drama stock for a little bit. So it's good stuff. Bagash, what's happening? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at W. Let's take a look here. Inside day on W, holding the ADMA. So this company, goodness gracious. We'll see if it breaks out one way or the other on that one. Google. Yeah, I mean, still just doing the choppy sloppy right there. So just be careful with that one. Nike. Schnikes. Red candle yesterday, kind of dark, cloudish coverage. Didn't quite get over 50% of the range right there, but pretty interesting there. And then today, a little bit of a hammer kind of coming back to that range. Let's see if that continues to hold. It had a great move 2 days ago off of the Foot Locker news, but that kind of just fizzled out a little bit there. So let's kind of keep an eye on it. Boeing, actually a beautiful down move today. Was really hoping for this thing to start to break out and give us one of these moves, because these are fun, right? You get in here and it's like, yay, everything is awesome, and then you kind of get into this slop and it's just like blah. But it was a nice move right from the open, right? So it kind of gave let me show you here. So you got this bigger picture, right? So from yesterday's high, here's the Fibonacci. You go here, right? Nice 50% retrace, and then bleh, all the way down today. So it was a nice move. And then you can kind of see on the bigger picture daily, right? All it did on that move was retrace, right? So here. Oh no, anyway. I guess it was. We had the other levels on that one, but anyway, the idea is we pushed below the 50-day moving average there on that retrace, and then worked our way back down to the bottom of the cloud and the ADMA before bouncing. Right, so that's kind of the big picture stuff right there. But really nice move on BA. If you're focusing short, that was one to go on today, right? Adobe, decent, right? So nice bounce off the 50-day moving average from yesterday. Yesterday again caught a lot of folks. But remember this little channel we said? We talked about it. We're like, let's see if it bounces off this channel, and it did. Right, so that was a nice job with that. So let's see if we get some more continuation. Good volume coming in that one. It's had a lot of dated call activity on that one too. I think September and even later, maybe in October. So there's definitely somebody who's been looking at that. So some big money. VRTX. Let's take a look. So ADMA tag here today, so just be careful of that, lower volume on that one, so just be careful if that's just a retrace and then it works its way back down. So good stuff, Bagash, my pleasure. Kim, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. AMD, I know, with the comeback for sure. So this is great, right? I mean, NVIDIA was strong. Guys, the semiconductors were on fire today. The SMH alone, intraday was up over 2%, and today, just from yesterday, up over 3%, right? So a big move right there on the semis. Really strong stuff. If the market is strong tomorrow, keep an eye on the semiconductors to see if they may do some follow through on that. So see, yeah, AMD, totally. APPS continuing to grind up. Yeah, doing its little grindy thing right there. There you go. It's like the Peloton one. It's like all-time highs with upper shadows. But it is what it is. Continues to work its way there. So good stuff. And then Etsy. Oh, yeah, look at that. Woo! Nasty. That's increased volume, too. Wow, that was relentless. And it's got that big gap right there, too. Oh, that's going on the bearish radar for tomorrow. Wow. Nasty. Good find on that one. How about Etsy? Nice stuff. So probably already covered with Bagash, but is this the hanging man or hammer coming off yesterday's candle on Nike? Yeah, it's tough, right? I mean, usually a hanging man, I mean, technically, right, definition wise, it would be like at the top of a trend, right? And that would be your reversal candle. But yeah, it looks like a hanging man right here, red candle, just kind of hanging there, right? So we'll see how it goes. Nike's a tough one to day trade, but I'm not really saying anything too compelling on it. But if we do break down below these lows, we got a nice gap below on there. So good stuff. Kira, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at AMD again. Yeah, so AMD, nice recovery today. We're hopefully going to get some follow through on that one. It looks like it's gearing up to get to all-time highs, right? So we'll see how long it takes it to do that if it does move those ways, right? ADI, good candle today. Let's see if it gets a little bit more follow through here for an earnings run, and then pins. Lower shadow off the ADMA on this one, so a decent bounce off of that, back into the prior inside day range. So let's see if we can kind of come back up here and test that. I really like this. I like how this is holding a little bit longer term. I'm liking what's going on here. Right, let's keep an eye on pins. It looks like, remember when we did Facebook, the invisible flagpole, right? So let's see how it does it. Let's see if it can do something similar to that, right? So it is looking interesting up here. So let's see if that can continue to hold and consolidate, and then maybe give us a breakout candle. I'm going to put like kind of a longer term alert on it just to see if we can get some volume on that. But yeah, keep an eye on that one. It looks very, very interesting. So good stuff. Thanks, Kira. Let's take a look. What else we got going on? Rocky QCOM, yeah, beautiful. Nice candle day, great volume. Gonna look for some follow through on that one. Let's see what kind of setups it gives us tomorrow. Thank you for this one. IGC, IndiaGlobalization.com. Wow, incredible. That's a move right there. That's like an option, right? So beautiful move on that one. Thanks, Rocky. Hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Apple. I assume you mean the Apple. Yeah, beautiful move right there. Let's see if we can continue to work its way out. Guys, it's still tight, right? It was a great move today, but Apple is still tight, right? So this is still really tight in this range right here. I mean, if things just get super duper bullish, a breakout over the all-time high could get this thing going again. It's crazy. Just real tight in there. Anyway, so we'll continue trending higher now, or maybe pause. We'll see. I mean, it's technically paused right now, right? I mean, we're in this range, right? So I mean, we're basically kind of flagging right here a little bit, right? So let's let's just see what it does, right? Let's see if it gives us any moves, right? So, but great move today. And then Square, let's take a look. So Square's getting actually really super duper choppy. I don't have any preference on this one right here. It looks like it could slow move its way down to the upward trend line. It needs to prove itself with another bullish candle to try to get going, to maybe test a couple of these levels, maybe that prior inside day high to kind of come up and test that zone of indecision, right? So good stuff. Thank you so much, Al. Appreciate you. Have a great one. Alma, what's going on? Facebook. Yeah, so guys, Facebook Inside Day. It's a huge one on the radar for tomorrow. It's getting really tight right here after earnings, right? There's a chance, I mean, that within a couple days, if we're weak and the market's weak, we can come back and test the scene of the breakout right here. But if it's strong again, this thing could really give a quick move to all-time highs, right? So it's just kind of channeling down right now, kind of really tight flag type deal. But definitely going to keep an eye on that one. Let's see how it handles those inside day range on that one. KMX. Yeah, nice. Yeah, these car companies are doing well, I guess, with the deliveries of cars and all that stuff. And we'll see how it goes. But that's been good, like Vroom and a couple of these other ones. Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, CVNA, right? Sorry, my fingers. CVNA. Carvana, inside day on that one, but had a huge move after earnings, right? That was an incredible day. So this is kind of chopping around in this range right here. So see if it can break out there one way or the other. And then AVGO. Yeah, some news on AVGO today. I can't remember. May have helped Google's latest AI chip. Anyway, so very interesting stuff on this. So decent count right there. A little less volume than obviously I prefer QCOM on that one, but good stuff. AI, yeah, and then the correction on Apple. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, right? Exactly. No, I knew what you were talking about. I knew what you're talking about. J-Moss, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. V. All right. Well, you got a nice gap up today, so still got an inside day on this one. So, let's just see. Let's see if we can get back above these levels right here. Obviously, macro picture, right? We're still contained by this geometric triangle right here. So, I mean, despite the nice gap up, we're kind of still in the blah, right? So, watch out for X dividend 2 coming up tomorrow. So just be careful. Sometimes they pull back off of that. So good stuff. Cool. XLF. Oh my goodness. Yeah, XLF got just trounced today, right? So it was like, really of all these, right? JPM was pretty rough right here. I mean, bearish engulfing candle, right? It would have been better if this were green one to be true bearish engulfing, but the real body engulfed the prior real body. I mean, it filled a gap, but I mean, just rough today. So I mean, obviously if the market gets strong, kind of look at this one, see if it gives a move. But JP Morgan just got demolished today too, a lot like the XLF. This is one of the higher weightings on the XLF, but just. I mean, it had such a strong run too recently, right? So I mean, so you kind of go here, right, and you're like, all right, cool, bigger picture stuff, right? If you kind of go down here, it's coming off this run. We're at a 382 pullback, right? So let's see if it bounces off of that one and where it goes from there, right? So it's pretty cool stuff on that, but just a nasty day today. I mean, it did fill its gap too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, my pleasure. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Anki. What's going on? I hope you're doing great. Yeah, let's take a look at Vroom. There you go. There's the other car stock too. So Vroom, 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 Vroom. Inside, double inside day. Finally got another push out over this range from the double inside day from the other day. Zoom info. Inside day here. So kind of keep an eye on that. Break down below those lows. Could see more downside. CVX. Inside day, right? So bearish day yesterday. It's still holding the 50-day moving average, but if oil gets weak, keep an eye on this one for another push down. Roku. Again, we looked at this. We did an extensive example on this one here at the beginning of the session. But we're kind of back in this. It's starting to reject this range right here. And like we said, that trend is really kind of looking like it's working its way down. But it's got room to get to the 50-day. I love how when the 50-day aligns with our trend lines. Isn't that cool? I love when that happens. So good stuff there. And then Google, again, just in the choppy sloppy. So there we go. Samir, what's happening? Hope you're doing well too. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at what we got. So let's take a look at Adobe. Yep, we looked at that one again. Lots of call activity recently. Bouncing off that little channel right there. Let's see if we get some more follow through on that one. The Big C. Okay, nice. Yeah, so inside day up today with an ADMA curling its way back up, so that could be interesting as well. DKNG. Yeah, sure, there's no sports playing at all, so a sports betting company, right? Yeah, it's bullish, right? So anyway, so inside day up a little bit there today as it heads into earnings. Maybe sometimes they do some shenanigans, like, it's going to just, get completely crushed on earnings, so they try to buy it up before it, right? We might see a nasty reversal, right? So, we take a look at a couple of these things, right? A couple of these retraces right here. If you go to the retrace here from the lows, we've got this. Right, 618 retrace right here before it pulled its way back out. Of course, we had a good upper trend line breakout. I mean, it's been pretty fun to trade. It's a little kind of a tricky area right here, especially before earnings. Etsy again, just super bearish looking right here. That's going on the bearish radar for tomorrow for sure. TDOC could be a pause day here for another move down. As it's breaking down below that channel. This is one we were looking at the channel 2 to see if it bounced, and it just did not. So keep an eye on that one there. We would have liked to have seen a little more volume coming in off of that lower shadow. Zillow with an inside day. A push down below could hit the 8 AM day and possibly fill that gap below. Baba. Decent candle today. Got back over the 80 MA with some volume, so it's got a little gap above that it could try to tag, but just be careful with BABA. It's tough with the China tensions and everything like that. Anything can happen on that one. Mogo, with a bounce off the 200 day. So let's see how that holds. This is a really, really low volume kind of penny name, so just be careful with that. Oh no, you're good. Appreciate it. Thanks, Samir. Mookie, what's going on? SLV, let's take a look. Yeah, so the metals got clapped today. Silver hung in there, right? Up 9 cents today. But inside days, so just be careful right here. We're hanging out in the trend box of this bump line. So if we do break down below there with some momentum, we got an open gap here, right, and all that stuff too. So let's see how that holds. Otherwise, if it bounces up, gets back above there, let's see if it continues to move. Yeah, all good. Thanks, Amir. Appreciate you. Usama, what's going on? Tesla! Maybe. Yeah, 1600. If it gets over today's highs, we could see a quick momentum move through there. So definitely going to be tracking that one. Should be very, very interesting. Tracy, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at the Qs. Again, low volume on the indexes here today. So, Anyway, so Green Day there, got over the 80 MA. Let's see if it continues to work its way up. We do have a fresh trend line right here, which I haven't updated yet. There, fresh high, fresh trend line. So we are holding the trend line. Yesterday was increased volume, so it's a little bit tough to go long, but we obviously weren't interested in going short because we're right at the trend line. So good stuff there. Beyond, and we do see those bounces off that too, but we prefer lower volume pullbacks. So good stuff there. Actually, let me take a look at the Qs one more time. I just want to see if anything looked interesting off of that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So good. So beyond. beyond belief. So yeah, this one's getting a little bit kind of sort of interesting. It looks weak, right? But look at this. If we stretch out this zone right here, right? If we just kind of stretch out that zone right here, we're still kind of holding there, right, where the scene of the breakout was, right? Now, if we lose this, right, and then we lose that right there, right, there's a big gap below that we can see. But otherwise, just kind of keep an eye on it. It broke down below this geometric line, so let's see how it goes. If it pushes down, didn't something happen after hours on this one? Oh, no, we'll move on that. I think there was a little bit of news, but not much. Okay, good. And then ATVI, let's take a look. ATVI, yeah, not too bad today. Good recovery, still below the 80 MA, so I'd like to see it get over, above that. But so far, so good on that one. And then winning with Win. Rough little pullback there today, but still holding on to the cloud. It does look like if we could break below today's lows, that gap could get filled below and test the 50 moving average. Okay, good. So Archibald, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Amazon, great job today and yesterday. Let's take a look here. Ooh, Amazonius. Okay, so let's get a clearer chart on this one. Let's see. So there we go. So here's your trend line right here. Let's get this. It's getting tight. Right, it's getting tight right here. So we love these these pullbacks right here. Let's see, a little bit low volume today, but if it breaks over these highs, right, we could start to test a couple of these levels above 3,200 potential. But we're getting really tight in here. So I want to wait for some clarity on this one before before seeing if it's ready to make a big move. But yeah, good stuff. The Nest is going on. DocuSign files for 247,000 share common offering. Wah, wah, wah. Epic run up, and then no real news on that one right there. When's that coming? That did not react to it. Yeah, so when you do an offering, right, you're putting more shares out there, right? So it dilutes your price, right? So typically when that happens, it moves back down. Right, until the people are start to agree that it should be a higher price, right, and then oftentimes it can reverse it. But there's no real good timing on that one yet that I've discovered. So good stuff there. Sure, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. BA, yeah, so BA nasty pull down today. It is holding the 80 MA and the cloud bottom, right? But it had a great intraday trade which we looked at a little bit earlier. FSLY. And the reason why, right, on Boeing, right? So inside day on FSLY, guys, down below that trend box. So still holding the cloud, kind of real tight in that cloud there. If we lose those lows, right, FSLY could give another move down, unless it just decides to be like, yeah, I want to get over the 50-day moving average, kind of go from there. So sure, if you didn't catch it earlier, real quick on Boeing, right? So this is kind of cool, right? We're talking about bigger picture stuff here, right? And this recent down move, right, was a 50% retrace for the last down move. Right, so kind of cool. Now, I mean, even from these lows right here, you go bigger picture stuff right here, right? We kind of got pretty close to a 50% retrace there before we bounced after hours, but it's tough to trade it after hours, right? So it kind of reversed off of that pretty hard. So cool stuff there. Good. And yeah, my pleasure. Cortez, what's happening? Hope you are well. Let's say, yeah, STM. Yeah, well, yeah, great candle on this one today, guys. So again, working to try to get its way back above the trend line, right? So it's basically in its own trend box right now. So it could be doing a retest of that. So just be careful there. And you got this. So it's kind of in that zone right there. But see if we can get back over that trend line and then push those highs and then stay bullish till proven otherwise, right? AMD. Yeah. So AMD strong candle today. We're hoping for some follow through on that one to see if the hopefully the futures open up strong and that can continue to go. Nin, what's going on? Tesla, yeah, I know, just amazing day today, guys. A breakout over today's highs, could see another push up. Could be very interesting. Google, just still in this crazy chop zone right here. Google is just usually out of play. And even the options don't even trade really well, so I just be careful with that one. JMIA, guys, we talked about it last night. And this morning, right? Upward trend line, right? We gapped down. We said, well, see how it handles this trend line. Look what it did. It reversed right off of it. We also had a lot of call activity in this one today. So it gave a nice bounce here. Look what it did too, off of a triple inside 15 for a nice move off of that. So good. So good bounce. So let's see if it gets any follow through. Good volume on that one. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Suyag, what's going on? So you're scared of shorting in this volatile market. Any good for buying puts? Suyag, definitely go through and check out our series, YouTube series on trend lines. Right? There's no reason to short until we break down, right? So, if you're just shorting randomly just to call tops, right? What are you going to do? Average down until until it just keeps going up? I mean, everybody's thinking short. I mean, the market's over right here. right? No, right? Oh, the art market's over. No, our market's over. No, no. Recession, recession. No, right? So we have the upper trend line right here. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for it to break down right here and see if it continues to get some confirmation to the downside. That's when you look for short when the trend is changing, right? Otherwise, day trading a little bit different story, right? There's some different tactics intraday, but other than that, that's what we look for. Tracy, yeah, how about that on that? Yeah, great job on Apple. I'm telling you, I told you, right? It was all about whether or not, right, it can't, and it was decreasing volume yesterday too, which is great off the ADMA. So, and we gapped up today too. So anybody who's like, oh, Apple's done, right? It's done, right? The recession is starting, and they're not going to make us any ear pods and iPhone, blah blah, right? And fill the gaps. Well, okay, right, and then they gap up, and they're like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to cover my short position, and then it keeps on going up, and it just helps everybody to buy the dip on that one. So cool there. Yeah, good job on that one, Brian. What's going on? Yeah, Piton. We're going to be keeping an eye on this one too. It's at the bottom of the trend. So Suyag, this is it right here. Right, this is not the macro upper trend line, but this is a trend line, for essentially a bump line right here. Okay, so here's your trend box, right? So are we breaking down, or do we want to short this right now? No. Is there low volume? Yes. Right. So now if we have a big candle right here and some big volume on that we might look at shorting, right, to get down to the 50-day moving average, right? So you just gotta wait for it to go. Nvidia. Beautiful, yeah, strong candle on that one today. So let's see if we get some follow-up. The semis were really, really strong today. I wouldn't be surprised if the futures get strong into the night, that we see some more action on these tomorrow. And Brian, yeah, DKNG, yeah, we looked at it a little bit before. I mean, it might be doing a little bit of an earnings run here. Just be careful in the earnings on this one. I can't imagine their earnings report, forecast is going to be good, right? So the guidance. So you never know. They could, they're a bunch of gamblers. So we'll see. Interesting stuff there. Z, what's going on? Hope you're doing well and having a great week as well. I know. Can you believe it? It's already Wednesday? Wow, tomorrow's Thursday already. Amazing stuff. Yeah. So beyond again, we looked at it a little bit earlier. It's coming right into this zone right here. So we kind of see how that holds. I mean, I guess I guess. Oh wow, this was a great zone even from back here. Wow, look at that, right from those prior highs. So that prior resistance zone has become support, right? So now though, right, it's kind of looking a little bit head and shoulderish, like shoulder, head, shoulders. So if it does break below this 120 level, we might see 115, and then possibly the 200-day at 104, right? So we're definitely keep an eye on that one there. BA. Pushing down there off of the 50-day movement. Yeah, so it's sandwiched there between there. We just did a couple analyses on that one. So lots of interesting stuff on Boeing from today. Now Target, Benson, if you were asking about a hanging man, that looks like a hanging man, right? So that's after a big up move right there. Big red hammer at the top, and it's just like now percentage wise. I think it's like just slightly better than 50% for a chance of reversal. I don't particularly like those odds, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And then TME, inside day, under the ADMA, so definitely something to keep an eye on there. And then of course AMD, beautiful move today, semi-strong. Let's see if we get any follow through the upside on that one. Carl, what's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at JPM. JPM nasty down move, guys, but it's basically just coming back and retesting the geometric line right there. So let's look at it and see if it gives a bounce. It could test a little bit lower, maybe 101-ish level and all that. But let's see how it holds. Let's see if we can give a move off of that. Win. Win with a bearish candle right here. This one looks like if we break down below these lows, we could see potentially see the 50-day moving average down there. UPS inside day. So still holding up, right? So, but not amazing. FedEx upper shadow. Yeah, so just be careful there a little bit. But it got a great move after that big volume candle right there. V with the inside day. We looked at it a little bit earlier. MA again inside day as well. Again, these names are getting really, really tight, right? So just kind of keep an eye on that one. The big thing on MA right here is this geometric line here to here, right? So we really want to see if we can push above there with some volume. So good stuff. And Z, what's going on? Space, SPCE, right off the 50-day, right off the cloud. So getting tight right there. It had a very, very interesting pullback since earnings. Now it's just kind of getting really, really tight in there. So maybe it'll go sideways for a little bit and then give us some clues. The next Vroom after hours. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Oh, we had earnings tonight. Wow. Yeah. Not so good on that one. Well, it happens sometimes, right? We don't like to trade into earnings unless we've got freebie runners and all that stuff. So just anything could happen, right? So it could beat and still go down, right? So just be careful of those. But yeah, I know it stinks. Bagish, you're back. ARNC, let's take a look. Yeah, so notable inside day, notable double inside days. Yeah, we love those. So Arconic, interesting. Nicola, definitely interesting. And thanks for that one. Let me get that on here. Double inside day. Nicola. Good. D-Dog. Oh, really? D-Dog, too. Oh, my. D-Dog. So D-Dog down a little bit after earnings right here, but kind of coming into a major congestion zone. So that is very interesting. Pay C. Double inside day 2 right in the cloud. Looking very, very interesting. Melly, tough one to trade. But at the low end of the range, that's very interesting. Almost like forming like a bear pennant on that one. Apparently, Pacey makes Siri get triggered. And then Match.com, pretty interesting too. Double inside Doji. Nice. Sharing for people to set alerts if anyone is interested. Nice. Thanks, Bagash. Appreciate it. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Really appreciate it. Good. Well, great teamwork here tonight. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Great chart quests. Really enjoyed the topic too. Big picture stuff, really important. So if you're new here, guys, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and check the links in the description for our Twitter page and our website. And also, whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. We always appreciate it. So Z, not necessarily. We got some videos on it on the YouTube playlist on Double Inside Days. Let me see if I got one readily available right here. Yeah, here's one on, there you go. Here's a Twitter link on it, which is pretty good. Obviously, educational purposes only, not investment advice, but just to explain what the Double Inside Day is, right? So, not necessarily strong to you, but it does get compressed as long as it sets up a larger pattern, right? And Suyak said TikTok signs deal with the Yankees! And even though there's no baseball going on. So, pretty wild stuff. I know the Yankees too, right? The American baseball team, right? So pretty crazy. So anyway, good stuff. Thanks to you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button, and we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe. See you and stay in the game. And